Does this signal that Vanke is in really quite deep liquidity trouble at this point in time?
Yeah, that's true. It's the first time we ever hear Vanke actually trying to get some debt reprieve on its public bonds, and that will have more impact than the private debt talks that we have reported over the last few months. So it does seem like the liquidity crunch at the company is reaching a new level at this point.
How important is Vanke? It is a household name, right, to the broader real estate sector.
Yeah, I think Vanke really has a systemic importance to China's real estate sector. Over the past 3 years, it's a company that really manages debt really well. Its sales has dropped much less than many of its peers. And most importantly, people are really counting on that Shenzhen metro backing, the government backing, to come out. So I think this will be a moment that tests that kind of government support that Vanke has. And most importantly, if Vanke ever misses a payment, it will trigger a lot of the cross defaults on its massive onshore liabilities, which is over 1.3 trillion. So that's a massive amount. And also, I think people's confidence will really wane if there's any problem at the company. If this is a bellwether of the property sector, if it fails, then people would ask who else would ever survive this crisis.
A debt swap, though, does sort of perhaps push the can down the road to an extent. So how much breathing space would this give the company, and would that really be enough to give it time to turn things around as well?
Yeah, those step talks are happening on multiple fronts. So there's the public bond discussion that are still ongoing, and we don't know if the banks are actually going to agree to extend or help swap all of these bonds. And on the other hand, Vanke is in talks with banks for potential credit lines. So we know that actually in the offshore market here, some Chinese banks are still having reservation in terms of how much they were willing to provide the company with. And I think the Shenzhen government is also very much close involved in these talks about bank credit lines, and we hope that a few months ago they actually came out to say they will continue to support the company. So we're looking for that similar signal to come out again at this time for the company.